Merzig Forest, Germany. For the past 25 years, Werner Freund, adventurer, explorer, and self-taught ethologist, has been living and communicating with the wolves in a sanctuary which covers several acres of pine forest. Werner now considers himself to be one of them.
Tuesday, a dull February day. I write everything down in this book, all my wolfman thoughts. I became interested in wolves because they're the most misunderstood and maltreated of animals. It was love at first sight. My encounter with the wolves changed my life. I used to keep bears. I was their companion, but with wolves it is quite different. They seem more intelligent. I discovered that they are ruled by emotions. Practically all my life and thoughts are devoted to the wolves. I'm sure that one day I will reason like a wolf.
Werner built his cabin deep in the forest to get to know the wolves better. Every day he visits them and eats, plays, and occasionally sleeps with the pack. To gain their acceptance, Werner had no choice but to become their leader. The wolves are merciless amongst themselves. In this extremely hierarchical society, everyone has a specific place. If Werner had not imposed himself as leader, he would have been torn to shreds during the slightest conflict.
Thursday evening. The daily ritual is unchanging. I enter the enclosure and greet my family. When members of a group have been separated for a while, they lick each other, kiss, and roll about together. I do the same. Because I'm familiar with each wolf's character and temperament, I know how far I can go. Each pack has its own set of rules. They are never the same. I have to forget my human habits. I have to remain calm and never intervene so that I don't upset this harmony and this fragile balance. Whenever I enter the enclosure, I fix my gaze on Alpha alone. I ignore the other wolves. Alpha has to greet me first. This is crucial in determining the other wolves' behavior. Alpha is the one who allows me to interact with the pack. Without his consent, I am powerless. If I were to break these rules, I would be a dead man.
Werner always changes his clothes before visiting another pack. If the wolves were to pick up an unfamiliar scent, they would attack him. In the animal kingdom, intruders are systematically hunted down if they cannot be identified or recognized.
I was very ignorant at first. I did not behave like a wolf. I didn't have the right reflexes. One day, a young wolf bit my lip. I understood that I had to react immediately, and I did so violently, attacking it like an adult wolf would have done. I asserted my position, and it's been the same ever since.
Werner often adopts cubs that have been rejected by their mother or donated by a zoo. He refuses to train them, but asserts his dominance by playing the role of surrogate mother. This experience will rest imprinted on the young wolf's memories, as the experiences of the famous ethologist Konrad Lenz have shown.
My two babies are doing well. They greedily lap up their ration of milk and their intestinal problems are beginning to clear up. I watch over them as if they were my children. I educate them in such a way that when they later become part of the pack, they will accept my presence. My relationship with the cubs starts when they are 3 or 4 weeks old. They know no one but me, and I become their reference, their guide. When they reach maturity, they will remember me as the one who fed them, the dominant member, the one to respect. My cubs need meat from a very early age. I give it to them with my mouth. It is essential that I play with them like a she-wolf. I encourage them to fight for their food as it's a way of building their character. Later on, they'll have to fight to win their place in the pack and continually defend this position. My experience led me to discover that even a cub who is just a few weeks old is capable of howling, which scientists previously denied. By listening to them, I noticed that when the cubs are left on their own, they try very hard to make their voices sound deeper in the event of danger, and that a lone wolf will lower the tone of its howling to give the impression that it is bigger than it actually is.
Später werden sie nach draußen beim Gehege umquartiert.
Werner has spent over 20 years filming and photographing his wolves and jotting down the distinctive behavior of each one in his notebook. These observations enable him to identify fully with each member of the pack.
Rudel beansprucht ein sehr großes Revier. In Brandenburg, Bayern oder den Chiemgauer Bergen könnte Canis lupus leben, wenn Homo sapiens es zuließe.
I wean the cubs when they are 7 months old. They will soon have reached their adult size. It all happens so fast, it never ceases to amaze me. We went into the forest together. We followed tracks, located the burrows, and hunted. But I was the one who brought them the game so that they would recognize me as the dominant animal. I used to be able to hunt with the wolves at night in the Saarland forest, but the Society for the Protection of Animals put a stop to that. I was sad for my wolves, but I do the best I can.
Werner's empirical experiences have never been fully accepted by scientists. Yet his very personal approach has convinced the most die-hard skeptics that the wolf should be reintroduced into regions from which it has disappeared.
Wednesday, a weekly visit to Yops. Yop is a very strange character, brutish. He is one of those people who finds it easier to talk to his sheep than to his fellow man. I like this shepherd because he is simple in his manner, but with a deep sensitivity. Some say he lives in another world, but I don't judge him. We are equally alone in society. And he is always ready to lend me a hand, to give me meat for my wolves. Have you seen the big dog again in the mountains?
Was? Ich habe noch nie Zeit. Du hast 4 Schafe und ich habe 25 Wölfe. Das hast doch nichts zu stellen. Ich habe genauso viel Arbeit wie du. Ja. Na klar, da muss immer der Bärste hochlaufen. Ja, ist doch schön. Ja. Wo hast du das Reh? Tu mir irgendwo. Ah, hey. Ja, das ist halt so. Ah, hey, hey. So, ich bin gut. Ist egal, was ich will. Ja, ich mach doch immer Teig. Ja, stimmt. Pass mal auf. Da sieht man, was da Lappen wieder Lappen. Ja. So, wir machen nicht so schnell. Wir tun das an Hes kaputt. Was? Ja, das ist. Mach nicht so schnell, ich tun die an Hes kaputt. Ja, das wird. Nee, das wird, dass die das so sehen.
Wednesday evening. Sometimes the wolves try and put me to the test, to gauge my strength and study my reactions. I deliberately keep hold of the prey for a few seconds, and they have to try and tear it away from me. I decide when it is time for them to eat. I know that one day they will challenge my authority. I'm growing older and weaker, but definitely more cunning, just like an old wolf. The wolves can feel it because they have a sixth sense. They can sense an oncoming storm, hear a call from miles away, and sometimes I even think they can read my thoughts. Human thoughts, which are now compelling me to leave them. June 15th, the beginning of a mild summer. In a few hours, I'll be leaving for Kyrgyzstan. I have to return to the land of the heavenly mountains to meet the last wild wolves and finally rid myself of my human dreams. Konrad Lorenz once said to me that he had never imagined a man could go so far with wolves. He reassured me that I had chosen the right way of life. I admired him because he was one of the only people to have crossed the boundary between human and animal feeling. The only other place where I've met people who understand me is Kyrgyzstan. I have learned more about wolves there than in any book. The nomads there spoke to me of wolf packs which haunt the hidden valleys and also of a mysterious hunter, the last of his kind, the last man to take on the wolves. He alone can lead me to their territory. The eve of my departure. Leaving you causes me great suffering. I'm happy, but also anxious at the thought. There was once a terrible storm which almost separated us, and I must endure these next few weeks, the first long absence, if I am to become truly one of your kind.
Boy bulbul sen geride de bası götürülür. Gittin kana bir acı para gündürüyor. Geyişke kana menine saldın, sen bulbul gere mahvol gündürüyor.
Karakol, Central Asia.
Market day in Karakol. Obligatory stopover before the wide open spaces. I have no interest in bazaars and market stalls. It is the men who intrigue me. These nomadic people who have abandoned their precarious lifestyle for a stable, homogenized world. Some still resist change. Like me, they live between two worlds. They have names like Kanai, Gul, or Tanti. I'm impatient to find them so that I can finally reach the land of the wolves. Tolik, my driver and interpreter, leads me along the route of the nomads. He knows where to find Kanai, the shepherd. From there, I shall follow the trail of the hunter and the wolves. Somewhere in the mountainous region of the Pamir. Tolik asks me a lot of questions. He wonders what my reasons for making this journey are. What can I say? My mind is on the wolves. Base camp near the Kulu River. We stop at an abandoned weather station to spend the night. Tolik studies the map. Summer is coming to an end, and the yaks are beginning to come down into the valleys. The wolves follow, driven by hunger. According to Tolik, we shall probably hear talk of the wolves. At this time of year, many of the nomads' sheep are attacked by the wolves. That's when they call upon the hunter. It was very cold last night, probably -10. I miss my wolves. It will soon be winter in Germany, too.
Пошли.
Day 3. We come across the snares set by the nomads. They place bait at the bottom of an earth pit. This one must have been visited by a bear. I can see its tracks. I'm very familiar with bears. They often inhabit the same regions as wolves. This time, the wolves were beaten to it, luckily.
Fertig.
Each day I spend in these vast expanses brings me closer to my wolves, and perhaps even to their wild brothers. I am hoping to communicate with them, to observe them up close, and to reach the end of my quest. Step near Lake Isikul. Encounter with the nomads. I meet Tanti, the eagle man. Tolik asks him where we can find Kanai, my friend the shepherd. Everybody talks at once, giving their own version. Nobody seems to agree. Maybe he is already in the valley, or still in the upper pastures. Or perhaps he is already in his winter quarters. Tolik insists, and the wolves? The wolves. Why, they're here already. They're everywhere. But they're in hiding. Two days later, we find Kanai and his family deep in the Maikaz Valley. Tolik must leave before nightfall.
Отдыхай здесь, не скучай.
I stay with Kanai. I will have to make myself understood. My hands and my eyes are my only tools, just like with the wolves. Tuesday. The snow covers the mountain tops more and more each day. Kanai still has a lot to do. Round up the herds, separate out the young yaks, identify the sick animals. Kanai has heard talk of a lone wolf, an old wolf which has been rejected by its pack. I would like to find it, to communicate with it. I try to convince Kanai to guide me along its trail. But in these parts, decisions aren't taken quickly. Ideas are discussed at length over tea. We must pass around the bread, replenish ourselves, listen to the latest events in the valley.
Oh, Oh. Good. Where? Oh.
Tonight, for the first time, I wanted to speak about my wolves to Kanai.
Wolf.
Kanai understands what I mean. He is a mountain man who has deep-rooted respect for wildlife. I feel a similar sense of communion as with my wolves. I began to talk. He probably did not grasp the meaning of all my words. It didn't matter. I remembered a particularly significant episode. It was the beginning of the mating season. I was dying for a pee. I went and urinated behind a tree. Alpha, the wolf, immediately urinated in the same spot. He followed me and spied on me, hoping to catch me in the act again. Alpha obviously thought I was trying to become his rival. I knew I had made a bad mistake. The wolf tried to attack me. His pupils were dilated, his ears stood upright, and his hair was on end. I kicked him very hard on the chin. He retreated, went back down on all fours, and gave up. Whenever the mating season came around, he never dared to approach me. The rest of the year we were the best of friends, and remained so until his death. We talked on long into the night. Kanai wanted to know everything to understand. And then he suggested we leave the next day.
Здесь? Вот.
Вот.
Обратно вот так. Здесь это як. Як.
Jak.
Як. О.
Jak.
Як. Здесь волк. Волк.
Volk.
Волк.
Volk.
Волк здесь. Лошадь. Тык-тык-тык-тык. Туда.
Ja.
Завтра.
Du, ich. Schlafen. Dann.
Тык-тык. Туда.
It was a misty morning when we set off for the upper pastures to meet the hunter and the wolves. We decided to travel light. Before entering the pass which leads to the foothills of Tian Shan, we stopped to see Bei and his herd of yaks. A shepherd thought he had seen the hunter, with a wolf skin slung over his horse's rump.
Сюда. Колю, туда.
Gulu.
Kanai's dog, Kulu, followed us. Half dog, half wolf. He was our protection against the wild wolves, so Kanai said. I wasn't so sure.
Як там?
Jak.
Як там?
Jak, ja. Jak.
Baby yaks are silly and excitable as children. Sometimes they wander off from the herd, attracted by the wide open spaces. A lost baby yak is easy prey for the wolves. I didn't have to say so because I knew Kanai was thinking the same. We left the trail to take it back to its shepherd. But he hadn't seen the hunter. In fact, he was very anxious because the wolves had been coming closer each day.
Can I? Volk. Oh, Volk. 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 Volk.
This was obviously done by a wolf.
Volk.
It ripped the sheep right open.
Wolf.
The mutilated remains of the sheep worried Kanai. He decided to turn back. His herd of sheep and probably his yaks too were in danger.
Come.
I understood, but immediately chose to go on alone to meet the wolf hunter.
Wolf.
Respecting my decision, Kanai pointed out the direction I must take.
And Volk.
He would never dare pass judgment. After all, it was my voyage of initiation, not his. Also, I needed to be alone, to be face to face with myself, face to face with what remained of man in me, and this wolf part, which was forever growing bigger.
Hallo. Alles Gute.
I don't know what day it was, but I saw a steep-sided, dark, almost forbidding valley. I was in the wolf hunter's territory. Jacques Philippe, the hunter, was expecting me. How had he known?
Hast du Volk gesehen?
I asked him if he had seen wolves in these parts.
Wie viel Wolf du gesehen? Wie viel?
Yes, he had seen wolves over there in the mountains. Only a few days ago, he had killed one. He had lain in wait for it, and when it came down from the mountain, he shot it.
Klein. Ja.
A big wolf. He had kept its pelt.
Ja.
I had the feeling he knew everything about me. We were like two feuding brothers. He wanted to prove to me that he was the stronger one. He had chosen to defy the wolves, while I accepted their laws.
Gelb.
He had stretched the skin so it would keep its shape.
Specialist.
We will set off tomorrow. We shall call the wolves by howling.
Klein. Ding. Ich? Volk. Ich.
I was close to my goal. In the company of this old man who loved wolves and yet who had chosen to destroy their lives in one shot of his gun. It was paradoxical that he should be the one accompanying me to realize my wolfman's dream. The night before our departure. I thought about the storm that had once destroyed my enclosures. Wind that could uproot even the strongest of trees, heavy rain that fell in torrents. The wolves were panicking. They could easily have run away, escaped. But no, they waited for me. I sat down among them. It reassured them. We spent the whole night nestled up against each other. I asserted my role as dominant member of the pack without really realizing it. From that time on, my relationship with them was stronger, closer. In fact, every night since my departure, I have thought about that storm. What would they do if it happened again? I'm so far away. I now know that they are my family, and that without them, my quest has no meaning. Jacques Chelit had thought of everything. An observation post, a beautiful clear day, and a few hours lying in wait. Without speaking, we both waited eagerly for nightfall, for different reasons. I wished for just one thing, to be able to finally see and howl with this wolf which haunted my dreams. Jacques Chelit wanted to shoot it, but I wanted to see the wolves, not kill them.
No, no,
Ketdi. Bekar kılasın da onu, hem de bekar attırma koydu. Bekar attıracak.
Jacques Chalit is a hunter. He says he doesn't understand. My return to the pack was greeted by a long silence.